It's Memorial Day. This is the day where we specifically remember those who gave their lives for their country. They gave their lives for the freedoms that we enjoy and maybe take for granted. Freedom of worship, freedom of conscience, freedom to assemble. And yet these are those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Now they knew it was possible, and it doesn't mean that they intended to die. Surely they hoped that they would return home again. But they knew as they went, they were putting themselves at risk and in danger, and it might cost them their lives. But what they fought for was worth it. What they fought for was that others could live in freedom. And they were willing to risk danger and even death in order to preserve those freedoms for those whom they loved. I can't think of Memorial Day and the sacrifice of these men and women without also thinking of our Lord Jesus and His sacrifice for us. The Bible honors the sacrifice that men would make for others, for someone who was good and perhaps worthy of it. But Jesus' sacrifice goes beyond that. In Romans 5 it says that Christ died for the ungodly. For one will scarcely die for a righteous person, though perhaps for a good person one would even risk death. But God demonstrates His love for us in that while we were yet His enemies, Christ died for us. Think of that. Some of these who are buried here died for their friends. They died perhaps to save the lives of the people fighting on their right and on their left. Maybe one of these around us here actually dove on a grenade in order to save the lives of his friends. Now, imagine you were captured in battle. And if you were in the midst of your enemies, would you dive on a grenade in order to save the lives of your enemies? And yet that's what Jesus did for us. Humanity had gone off on our own, rejected God's will and God's ways. We were self-declared enemies of God. And yet God sent His Son, Jesus, to give His life for us, to bring us back into relationship with Him. So on Memorial Day, remember these who died for those who loved them. And remember Jesus, who died for us, though we did not love Him yet. But He died for those He loved in order to give us spiritual life so that we could know God and love Him. In that, may your Memorial Day be richer and fuller than ever.